Hi, my name is Meg E. I'm the Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in Zimbabwe. And for Women's History Month, we wanted to talk about what women's colleges in the United States have done for us. And with that, I'll turn to my two colleagues and guests today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Modesta Kamupinda. I am a Spelman graduate. Spelman College is a women's university college located in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a historically black college. And I graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in International Studies, class of 2017.
Hi, my name is Fadzi Muzhandu. I'm an EducationUSA advisor at the US Embassy. So I work with Meg, and I graduated from Mount Holyoke College. It's a women's college in Massachusetts, South Hadley, about 2 hours from Boston. I graduated with Economics and International Relations in 2005.
I went to Wheaton College. I'm a graduate of 1997, so you all are making me feel old today. And I did political science and Italian studies, because who doesn't need a reason to go to Italy, right? Do you want to ask our first question?
So, why did you choose a women's college?
I can say that I didn't choose a women's college. A women's college chose me. And this is my story. So I was already at a girls' high school here in Zimbabwe, and I did well for my A-levels. I got a call saying that there's a scholarship available for women to go to the United States. It was the Ambassador Andrew Young Scholarship, which was taking students to the United States, to Morehouse College, which is an all-male, black male college, and Spelman College, all women's college. The decision that I went with, because I had been at a girls' school. I had already experienced the advantages of being at a girls' school, being in an all-women's environment that is nurturing, supportive, and I wouldn't mind getting my college education also in an environment which is nurturing, with people that I identified with, other black women from different backgrounds who are African American, others who are European, and others who are from the Caribbean islands. And being in that international space with other women was just the next level for me, and the benefits were enormous.
I think I wouldn't have done it if a counselor hadn't advised me to. And so it was this, Americans typically go and you visit, your junior year, several campuses to get a feel of what's there. Our college counselor had recommended the school to my parents and I wasn't interested. And they were like, you know what, we're going to go see those schools. It's in the map loop that we're driving, so we're going. And so it was the last school we visited, and my whole family, we stepped on the campus and there was chemistry. Like immediately I thought, oh, I want to be here. I want to be at Wheaton College in Massachusetts as well. And as we did the tour and they talked about what they did to kind of provide support to women and build women up, I thought, oh, I definitely want to be here. And so it was last on my list and first the minute we did the college tours.
Wow.
And what about you?
So I had so many missed opportunities in high school, and the only reason I could think of was that I was a girl. Like, you're part of a quiz club, but you don't get to the quiz competitions. You're part of debate, but you don't get to speak in front of a crowd. And I thought, this is happening because I'm a girl. So when I set out to look for universities, I knew I wanted to be in a female environment. I had learned about women's colleges in the US. So when I went for my first advising session at the embassy, I was very clear that I wanted a women's college. So I only applied to women's colleges. Got accepted by 2, denied by 2, but I found my home.
And do you think that going to a women's college prepared you for the real world?
Definitely. I think it did, because when I was at Spelman College, I was in a very comfortable environment to practice debating, public speaking. I was encouraged to speak in class, to participate in healthy dialogue, and to question every idea that I had. or to question everything that was told to me. We were given a safe space, and also we're taught to recognize, for example, class, gender biases or racial biases, and also we had role models, women who are doing very well in American society, whether in business, politics, and they were role models. We looked up to them, and we knew that my aspirations can be achieved. And that is in contradiction to the norm that feminists or women who are feminists, who are pursuing their goals, often fail to be good mothers and lead their family.
Yeah, I found my professors actually said, like, called out the stereotypes that held women back, and then brought you back into the sciences, or brought you back into maths, or brought you back into sectors that maybe in high school you had been discouraged from.
Right.
And the teachers kind of knew it, and so then you had to call it out and then bring you back into that conversation. I also find that American universities by design are so oriented to what's the job at the end of the day, how do we make sure all of our graduates are employable, that the curriculums and the speakers and the engagement opportunities are so career oriented. What the women's college does is it gives you a chance to try new skills without judgment, and test public speaking skills, delegating skills, research skills that you then can take to the workplace afterwards.
So I knew I would be able to survive in the world after having going to a women's college. And the second thing that made me realize that I am ready for this world is I don't associate a lot of the issues that I struggled with as a younger person with my current work now. So I think the transition from high school to being in a college where you're told it's okay to be a leader, it's okay to speak. Then you come back into the world and you've had all this training. It's amazing because I don't think about the quiz club as much anymore. I only remembered when I started speaking about why I chose a women's college. But yeah, I think I am ready.
For me, what I picked up from your conversation is being able to forget about your past stereotypes, what has been said towards your goals. And for me, it was like you can still do anything. You can still, all the biases are just biases. You are taught to identify them. And once you name them, you own them. So the world is basically yours.
And would you recommend women's colleges to other young women?
I am an education advisor, so it's very difficult for me to say to girls, you should look at these colleges. But in every conversation that I have with young women who come to my office this is another great group of universities and colleges that you must look at. If you do not want to apply, it's up to you. And I send them to research papers that show the benefits of women's colleges. But at the end of the day, it's up to them. If my daughter is going to Mount Holyoke.
University loyalty.
Yes.
Definitely, I would encourage every young woman to apply to go to a women's college. And the first concern that I have from most young women is that we'll be able to interact with boys, because in the life of young women, they also want to have a social life. But these universities are not entirely isolated. For example, at Spelman College, right across the street is Morehouse College, which is an all-male, black male, black excellence across the road. And we have lunch together. You can even sign up. Most American colleges and universities have a consortium. And those other colleges that in that consortium could be co-ed. You can always sign up for classes and take classes in a co-ed classroom, and you won't entirely miss out on the social social opportunities. But as well as, I think it's also about prioritizing the skills and the benefits that you get being in an environment that you're comfortable to express yourself or to be challenged as a woman, than the social aspect. The social aspect will always come. The priority is always the education.
I think that's a really good point. So with American universities, there are some that are very research focused, right? Like the research programs, and particularly for graduate programs, the opportunity to be part of big studies and things are really important. At the undergrad level, you have an option of universities that are very student-centric.
Yes.
It's not that the professors don't do research, but
Yeah.
it's really about this experience of learning for these students. And the majority of the women's colleges, like the sister schools, are very student-centric, and I think I benefited greatly. I'm still really good friends with my advisors. We send Christmas cards. If I'm ever back in the States, I always swing by to say hello. And those relationships have been lasting. And then I think the other big piece of this is this network of women. I didn't have enough money in my pocket to do a DC internship, and they had me live and eat the food of another alumnus who was ahead of me in the system. And so this network of women across sectors, across ages, that look out for each other, take care of each other. There's a real connection there. It's an old women's club, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's right.
And never underestimate every network you can build. And so this network of women's colleges, we see each other in the professional space and kind of make sure that there's space and a voice and room for everybody to grow, and never underestimate a great network of women.
That's right.
So true.
That's
I mean,
right.
I have so many stories of how other women came through for me, and these are women shared experiences. We went to college with, and I could spend a whole day talking about how great my college is, and it's those networks and the friendships and silly things like milk and cookies at 9 p.m.
Right? Yes.
I love that.
And that's why even for example, at my school, as you know, it's a historically black college. So every time when a person of color does something phenomenal, we celebrate, we wear our pearls. On the election day, we were all wearing pearls. So you'd see pictures on Facebook of other alumni, and they're wearing their pearls, and you'd be like, oh, my pearl sister.
Exactly.
Or my Starman sister. Oh, tomorrow we are celebrating Vice President Kamala Harris. Can everybody wear their pearls? And everyone was posting their pictures on Facebook, and they'll be wearing their pearls like, yes,
Proudly.
my Starman sister. So Stacey Abram, for example. So it is a great network, alumni. Just the fact that you went to this school, you had shared experience, people support you.
So I think we could probably sit here all day and talk about the benefit of the sister schools and what they have done for us as professionals. But we've already talked longer than we were permitted to with all the wonderful things we have to say. And we really hope that the women of Zimbabwe who are considering studying in the United States take a serious look at what these schools have to offer and the professional growth that they will give you to face the real challenges in the world. Thank you so much for joining us.